Why don't you follow Tom Brady? Is there something?
Not personal, man. Tom is actually my friend, one of my close friends.
Ask the question, hey, you play with this guy had your back. What happened between the two of you guys?
I already know what my comment section's going to say.
Mike, you're giving Antonio Brown exactly what he wants. He just wants your attention.
Look, man, I'm sorry. I'm guilty of this. Antonio Brown is like watching the Arizona Cardinals play football. He has a ton of potential, but it's very disappointing to watch. But yet, I can't look away because it's very entertaining. Side note, I think the Arizona Cardinals were the perfect team for Hard Knocks in season. But that's besides the point. Antonio Brown and Tom Brady have been doing sort of a one-way dance so far, and I think we've gotten at least an idea of how Tom Brady's feeling about the situation, because AB literally screenshotted a conversation he had with Tom Brady and posted it onto his story. So we have a lot to cover here, man. Before we get to the content, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. If you want to support this channel even further, check us out on Patreon and our channel memberships program. Now that we get all of that out of the way, break! This video is sponsored by Prize Picks. I've been trying to partner with Prize Picks for months because unfortunately sports gambling did not pass in California. So they have been the best way to get action in sports games, and they're available in California, Florida, Texas, Georgia, and over 70% of the United States. It's a really fun game, man. All you have to do is open up the app. They're gonna give you projections for each and every player. Now these players could be in the NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, European basketball, cricket, esports, MMA, and all you have to do is pick the player's projection and pick more or less for their projection. So here are my first two entries. I said that Baker Mayfield was going to have less than 80.5 passing yards in the first half of his game versus the Ravens. I also said that Ryan Tannehill is bound to throw at least one interception on Thursday Night Football. He's going up against Jair Alexander, for crying out loud. If I hit on both of those picks, I 3x my money. But on top of that, I also feel like Derrick Henry is good for at least one touchdown on Thursday Night Football. And if I hit on all three of these, I 5x my money. But check this out. They just dropped a brand new promo that is absolutely absurd and is here to stay. You can now make up to 6 picks. If you hit on all of your picks, you could 25x your money. That means if you put down $40 and hit on all 6 of your picks, you can get $1,000. And right now they're hooking up my subscribers fat. They're willing to match up to $100 of your deposit when you use my promo code Mikerophone. You can also go to the link in the description down below and enter promo code Mikerophone on Prize Picks for them to match up to $100 of your deposit. On top of that, I'm going to be posting my picks on Twitter and on Instagram, so make sure you're followed on both. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? I'm gonna be completely transparent. There's very little to do about the actual game of football in this video, because if we're speaking purely in terms of football, Tom Brady's been crushing it ever since his divorce. I mean, he is undefeated ever since he got divorced with Giselle. Off the field, his life has been a little bit more messy. I don't want to get into his stuff with Giselle because, to be honest, I'm exhausted about talking about that, and I was very uncomfortable covering it to the extent that I did cover it, but it was still something my audience wanted, and I really just researched tirelessly to make sure I bring you guys content that you'd be interested in. But aside from that, Tom Brady and Giselle actually are coming under tremendous amounts of fire for, well, this.
I'm getting into crypto with FTX. You in?
Well, providing gives 360-degree access to the crypto markets with the ability to trade everything from alts to DeFi. I believe I'm in, but still hate you.
Understood.
Take care. Best of the family.
Is he in?
Yep.
Did he say he hates you?
He did.
Even on the phone, that guy sounds handsome.
Yeah, the cryptocurrency exchange that is currently going under, that Tom Brady literally has a commercial with Giselle where they literally try to convince all their friends to sign up for FTX, and that aged remarkably. They currently are going under. And he's not the only person guilty of this. I mean, they had Steph Curry endorsing their product, Shohei Ohtani. The guy that I found out about BlockFi from is Andre Jick, which, to be honest, even though I took a huge personal loss and obviously my butthurtedness is clearly leaking onto this channel, if there's one thing I learned from this is be careful who you decide to endorse. And that's something that I am going to keep in mind moving forward, even though so far, thankfully, I have had a clean track record with my endorsements. And I would like to continue it that way. And that's from the Tom Brady side of things. I mean, things have been getting a little bit better for him on the field. Off of the field, I think we got an opportunity to see how challenging this man's life truly has been recently. But fortunately, things appear to be getting better for him. From the Antonio Brown side of things are just getting stranger and stranger. Obviously, everything he does is kind of an attempt to get our attention, which I will always fall for. So prior to what I'm bringing you guys today, there's two very important bits of information I want to bring to your attention. Antonio Brown has been on this run of just trashing Tom Brady for getting divorced, which I think is probably the lowest of low blows. I mean, if you want to throw shade at Tom Brady, that's one thing. But you see, in Tom Brady's case, he really assisted Antonio Brown during a very difficult point in his life when everyone essentially gave up on him. And now that the roles are reversed, I'm not necessarily saying Tom Brady's anywhere near the place that Antonio Brown is in regards to how people perceive him, but you could obviously agree that Tom Brady's in a very difficult point in his life. Personally, I think that's the one thing I really appreciated for making those videos on him. You could actually see what this man, the greatest football player of all time, what his actual personal struggles are. And to be honest, it humanized him for me, which made me tremendously appreciate the content we made on him. But in Antonio Brown's case, he decided to just completely on Tom Brady for getting divorced, making multiple memes and insinuations that he's sleeping with his ex-wife. And it got so bad that Patrick Bet-David, who, by the way, great interviewer, I've watched some of his stuff, fantastic, had a really intense interview with Antonio Brown where he just straight up called him out. Why the hell are you doing this to Tom Brady when he's had your back? And Antonio Brown's response, while dancing around the question, was something like this.
Yeah, it's about respect, man.
Yeah.
This is a parody, man. This is a charity shirt to raise money for the fatherless kids. But that's a dig. This is a real moment that happened at the studio, at the game. Play the video. It's a dig because you don't understand it. You trying to make me rationalize it. Why you want it? Why?
And he didn't stop there. He actually became very defensive and suggested what we all thought.
I'm not smashing this girl. I don't know his.
Oh, that's not where I'm going. That's
what you just said. Oh, my God called. Okay.
Not where I'm going.
All right.
Shout out to AB for his pronunciation of parody, but that's besides the point.
This is a parody, man.
This is where we currently stand. I mean, Antonio Brown is consistently recycling something that happened almost a year ago, a weird beef with Tom Brady that actually ended up getting him blocked by Tom Brady's number, I think. And we kind of got an insight into the relationship Brady has had with Antonio Brown. So AB posts a lot to his Snapchat story. I mean, a lot. I thought he posted primarily to his Instagram story, but no, his Snapchat's a little bit crazier. And the other day, he posted this text message from Tom Brady. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people are asking, because I feel like there's some people that are confused about this. One, when you look at the conversation, Tom Brady's in green. Some people, for some reason, think this is a text that AB wrote, but if you look at the text, and we're gonna read the text, it's clear that Antonio Brown didn't write this. So this text is coming to us from May 10th, 2021. So this is obviously when they're coming off of a Super Bowl victory. A remarkable achievement for both Tom Brady and Antonio Brown, because Tom Brady was able to achieve a Super Bowl with a brand new team without Bill Belichick. And Antonio Brown finally added a ring to his collection, something that some of the greatest wide receivers of all time, like Randy Moss, for instance, weren't able to achieve. So Tom wrote this text message to AB saying, "You are demonstrating very poor decisions and poor communication to so many people who have gone above and beyond to help you. You are acting selfish, and unfortunately, many of those people are exhausted by the erratic and unpredictable emotional behavior. When I met you, you were humble, willing to learn, and anxious to improve things in your life. In a short period of time, you have done those things and accomplished some great things, and very much on the path to success long term. Unfortunately, you have reverted very much back to a young, immature man that is selfish, self-serving, irrational, and irresponsible. I, for one, am disappointed in many behaviors over the the past few months. You have seemed to have lost that humility and that APG. You have gone from hanging around good quality people that had genuine interest in seeing you succeed to seeing others whose lives are erratic and out of control and leading you down a negative path. Now, I don't know if this is a reference to the text messages that leaked out during that time during Antonio Brown's case, or if it's the fact that Tom Brady personally saw a change in Antonio Brown's pattern of behavior that kind of caused him to be concerned. If you remember during AB's first year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when he signed on with the Bucs, he was a model citizen. I mean, you didn't really get that much controversy coming from AB. Life was great. He was focused on winning a Super Bowl and was thankful for the fact that he had another opportunity to play in the NFL. And I don't know what changed. He had a very controversial summer. I mean, there was the fake vaccine drama, the fact that he didn't pay some of his chefs, and then obviously eventually taking off his jersey and leaving the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the middle of the game. But I thought that this was very interesting and worth making a video on. I know it might be too personal, but it gives you an idea of the type of human being that Tom Brady is. I mean, this is just coming off as a very disappointed leader that just wants his teammate to succeed. Obviously, Antonio Brown's success is Tom Brady's success, and I'm assuming when he says you have gone from hanging around good quality people that had genuine interest in seeing you succeed, he was probably referring to like himself, maybe Mike Evans, maybe Rob Gronkowski. I'm just analyzing at this point, but the very important part of this that I think is really interesting is the fact that when you look at the conversation between the two of them, Tom Brady's name is in green. I mean, this means Tom Brady blocked Antonio Brown. And to be honest, man, I can't blame him. I mean, a part of me wants to be empathetic towards Antonio Brown because at this point, I genuinely look at him as a human being with a very significant mental illness. And I know that might be harsh, but like when you just see the way he behaves in today's day and age, you don't necessarily need to be a genius to know something is going on with the guy. I mean, we've made a documentary on how Antonio Brown was before the hit and how his ability to be interviewed degenerated as his career went on. And if you just watch AB in interviews now, man, he either seems like he's on something or is just completely incoherent in the way he communicates with people. And it's really sad because I loved watching AB play football. And it's also really sad because you're literally watching a man self-destruct right before your eyes, whether it's the fact that he was naked with another woman in Dubai or is consistently taking shots at Tom Brady in podcasts. It just keeps getting more and more unfortunate. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this, man. I thought it was very interesting and worth bringing to your guys' attention. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.